香港時間依家係11:55，星期日晚啦。收睇緊嘅係 Edinburgh 世界頻道同埋 Facebook 直播。有李世民喺隔離，我哋喺邊咧？喺中領館門口，係咪？
喺芝加哥嘅中領館。
芝加哥中領館門口。咁就點解咧？即係今日係一個唔會係太多人咧，一個聲援香港政治犯嘅一個活動啦。咁就喺10點鐘，即係咧5分鐘之後就開始。咁後邊咧其實就係表達一個好簡單嘅訴求。香港原本有嘅一國兩制依家係冇咗。香港依家你見到下邊呢條 banner 有嘅好多嘅朋友，我哋認識嘅人，依家咧就係喺 detainment 扣留當中，有啲係超過咗1000日，包括咗譚德志，即係快必啦，同埋黎智英先生。咁另外仲有好多你見到嗰條 ticket 有喺度嘅人。我見到有啲朋友啊 Simon 就係預備咗有啲一啲牌啊，喺 prepare 緊喺後邊。咁其實我哋嚟呢度，我知道你喺華盛頓啦，我就喺加東啦，過咗嚟啦。咁點解會嚟到呢度？其實即係個好簡單一樣嘢，就係話我希望香港，好似我依家仲喺香港有啲幫緊在囚或者係咧拉咗去坐監，或者係咧俾佢捉咗嘅人去做保釋嘅咧，就係話你一定要翻返去真嗰個一國兩制。如果唔係咧，冇意思。
我知道嗰度有啲觀眾咧，就對一國兩制都冇乜，即係覺得一國兩制仲講一國兩制咁樣。咁但係我諗個重點就係香港唔再係香港啦。咁香港究竟係點？就大家可以自己去作出不同演繹啦。咁但係重點就係我諗佢哋眼中嘅香港同我哋眼中嘅香港好唔同。咁我哋而家話俾你知香港係點。咁我哋就不過最可惜嘅就係我要喺芝加哥呢度話俾你知香港係點啊，唔會喺香港話俾你知香港係點。
我舊時就即係2014年嗰陣時咧，就成日去中聯辦門口嘅，咁就有個Pray for Hong Kong, Pray for China 嘅嘢啦。咁好似製造啲人鏈咁樣，咁嗰陣時都得嘅，即係喺中聯辦出邊咯，祈禱為國內祈禱啊嘛，為啲即係在囚人士希望可以得到釋放啦。如果係無辜被扣押，咁當然有好多係維權嘅律師就失去咗自由啦。咁香港你見到下邊呢條 ticket 裏邊有好似李卓人啊、周幸彤啊呢啲都依家係都無了期地扣押喺度。咁所以即係我覺得無論你用任何一個方法都好啦，即係你始終你仲可以有發聲嘅機會就繼續發聲啦。
同埋我諗即係重點就係講嘢嘅人其實係你唔中意聽嘅，大不了可以唔聽，但係你冇理由即係將言論自由變成一個罪。言論自由一定唔係一個罪。呢個就係最緊要。
感謝今日都好感激你嘅咧，你唔係去示威嗰啲人，你係即係北疆比較多啲。
我拉你出嚟都係怕人多啊，怕熱啊，怕凍啊，好天又怕曬落雨又怕淋嗰啲人嚟。
係，但係即係你諗下香港曾經我哋有好多遊行嘅，即係去到2019年都係可以噶嘛，有乜問題啫？係嘛？依家要去到表達訴求，要去到咁遠嘅地方，咁但係點都好啦，即係習近平應該就離開咗San Fran嘅啦，或者離開緊都見到唔知有啲咩傾到，咁但係我相信我亦都唔知道拜登總統有冇俾咗嗰個釋放政治犯嘅 list 佢，即係有冇機會傾到咁，但係始終一樣嘢啦，香港人嘅組織係喺San Francisco 都係有好多機會去講咗香港實質個情況啦。
咁同埋即係都係嗰句啦嚇，我哋幾個就今日喺呢度喺美國嘅法治之區行使我哋嘅言論自由。咁有啲朋友話：哇，會唔會有小粉紅啊？會唔會有咩啊？咁咪大家用自己嘅即係 對法律嘅理解去進行講自己嘅嘢咯。我就知道呢個國家唔準打人嘅，係咪咁啊？嗰啲啦我哋可以睇下我哋啲朋友準備咗嘅。
OK， 我諗我要攞翻啲。
係啦，好，等我嚟。大家如果見到對面馬路咧，就已經有 set up 當中㗎啦。
因為唔同光譜嘅人我諗。
咁我哋嘅光譜好闊嘅，作為香港人係咪？咁我哋而家就俾大家睇下，一陣間咧主要都係阿 Ed 去講嘢嘅我呢啲時候冇識講嘢。見到啦，咁咧好阿 Ed 你整你嘅嘢，我喺度展示下我哋今日呢度有啲。
Hey, my friend.
Okay.
He is the Tibetan former president, and he's always supported.
Okay.
Always
Come
come
on.
out. He is Atin and Simon Lee.
Hi.
And they are Hong Kong activists and
Nice to meet you.
columnists for Apple Daily, which is banned in Hong Kong. Right now, it's a only free press that's banned in Hong Kong, and that is the owner. Now is in jail. So they are.
Yeah, I read.
Yeah. So he is Tibetan Alliance of Greater Chicago.
Okay. Thank you.
So he is always.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
This
Otherwise,
area belongs to us.
The
Yes.
live stream.
For 30 years, we have been here.
Can you say a few words as well? Well, we're having a live stream right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are. Please come over.
If you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, this side.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having a live stream. So this is can you introduce yourself?
My name is Kal Sang. I'm Tibetan, and I'm former president of Tibetan community of Chicago, and we are here almost for the last 30 years making demonstrations about the situation inside China, Tibet, and all other problem areas. So I'm glad I'm here today, and I wish you all a success and freedom and happiness to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and anywhere that is occupation under Chinese Communist rule. Thank you.
Yeah, and I went to Dharamsala
Okay.
in June, met up with the Holiness the Dalai Lama, and we understand the pain when you lost the country in 1959. So it has been more than 60 years of
I was
exile.
9 months old when I became a refugee.
Yeah.
My mother carried me over from Tibet to
Yeah.
Nepal and then to India. And half my life I grew up in Dharamsala. You know where?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to Tibetan school,
Yes.
and 30 years ago I came to America because of U.S. Congress. They passed a law saying 1,000 Tibetans can come to United States.
Yes.
So since then, there are so many Tibetan communities all over the country, from Minnesota to San Francisco to New York, and of course in Canada
Yes.
and Australia
Yes.
recently.
And we have, as Simon alluded to earlier, these are the detainees, and they're very famous people who fight for freedom in Hong Kong. Han Tong Chow, who organized the alliance, Lee Chuk Yan, Mr. Jimmy Lai, who is the owner of Apple Daily, who was detained for more than 1,000 days now. This is Lee Chuk Yan, and then Benny Tai right here.
Oh,
Yeah. Actually, we have more than 200 something detainees who are alleged to be in violation of the national security law.
yeah, I have been reading about situation inside Hong Kong, since, Yeah, I've been reading about situation inside Hong Kong
Yes.
and of course Taiwan and Tibet and
Yeah. Right.
and all other areas.
Right. But how can we help Tibet? And maybe if I can ask you to, your fight has been more than 60 years,
Yeah.
right? And the fight still goes on, and there's a SFT, Students for Free Tibet, and the adults you guys in different cities where Tibetans are located, Chicago, New York, Toronto, you still come out, right? How can you keep that momentum? How can you keep that faith and perseverance?
Yeah, for example, I told you, we have been in this place where we are right now standing.
Yeah.
We have been doing this for the last 30 years.
30.
Yeah, 30
30.
years. Especially on March 10, 1959, where we lost our country. So since March 10, every March 10 we are here in the consulate, making demonstrations. And of course, when there's bigger problem like during the Olympics,
Yes.
and of course, Tibetans all over the world. Remember, 1959, this March 10.
Yeah.
Then at the time we lost our country, and I became a refugee. At 9 months old. Since then, we are, I've never seen my country, and I tried, ask the consulate. I want to see my parents, my relatives.
Right.
They never give me visa to this day.
I don't think they will.
Yeah. But still,
Yeah.
Soon, I always say, we never say Chinese people are bad people. Only the communists.
The totalitarian
The
regime.
regime, exactly. And
Yeah.
Tibetan history has even Tibetan kings have Chinese princess as their wives.
Yes. Yes.
That was how good relations for so many years.
Many hundreds of
Yeah.
years ago. Yes.
When Chinese became communists, then they started, now look, after 25 or 20 years,
Yeah.
even their own,
Yeah.
Now there's a problem in Hong Kong, the
Yeah.
problem in Taiwan, and Dalai Lama said, middle way approach to solve the Tibetan problem. If they can faithfully, that's what Deng Xiaoping said.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the total independence for Tibet. We can talk anything after that. Then Dalai Lama said, we can,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Dalai Lama sent almost 10 delegations, to Tibet and to negotiate.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for the communists to trust, It's very hard to trust the communists, So right now there's nothing is happening and situation inside is going worse and worse. No freedom and total lockdown. People can't, even talk, in Tibetan language. And schools are now,
They lost the Tibetan language. They are being taught in Dharamsala, not inside Tibet. Tibet is being occupied now, right? And Potala Palace is now just a tourist spot.
Yeah, tourist spot,
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually with this middle way approach, it's a very, approach to solving even the Hong Kong problem, Taiwan problem. It can be solved, if you really, but somehow communists don't understand,
Yeah.
It's always, communists everywhere in the world, very difficult to trust,
Yes.
For my life, since China became communist, I started reading all about communism, and communism is a problem,
Yeah.
Slowly. Even, they kill their own people, 70 million Chinese. Can you imagine? 1.2 million Tibetans. And of course, it's going on, and you don't know the numbers these days. Who are in prison, who are murdered. It's closed society, no freedom of speech. You can't think.
Well, I hope His Holiness the Dalai Lama can outlast all the dictators of China.
Yeah.
His counterparty was Mao Zedong, right? When His Holiness was just an adolescent.
Yeah.
Now His Holiness is still alive and well, and I asked him the question, His Holiness, how long do you think you can live? Of course, he says it could be another 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Who knows, right? But a totalitarian regime cannot last forever.
Yeah. That's, it's not only Chinese, all over the world, Any regime that is totalitarian, they don't love freedom. It's like, they're killing themselves, at the end,
Yes.
But that's why they use brute force,
Yes.
to occupy.
Right. Well,
So there's
yeah.
not even one single free press in Tibet right now. Can you imagine? Tibet
Yes.
is closed.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and they,
So we get the news from India, Dharamsala, which is the Tibet now, right? The little Tibet, where we get the real message. Yeah, but we hope Tibetans can go back to Tibet one day, same as Hong Kong.
Yeah. That's what now our struggle becomes big picture for all Chinese people under some kind of occupation, and a democratic China. It's not only their own people. It's proud of the world. That's all.
Yeah.
That's democratic China. And look at democracy in Hong Kong, democracy in Taiwan. It's nothing's
Right.
people are happy, and the government is not
Yeah.
corrupt.
Yeah.
And of course now you can talk about corruption in communism. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the bigger audience, it's definitely online. Since we brought the amplifier here, would you like to say a few words in English? Why you believe the fight for freedom for Tibetans, Uyghurs, and Hong Kong, we are all in the same boat. We are all together. Can you lead us, and then I'll join you afterwards, since we brought the amplifier here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, we are here today to represent Tibetan people in Hong Kong, people in Taiwan, that our struggle is not over until we are free. So together we can, and together we can, make China understand, you don't mistreat your own people, let alone other people in the world. So respect your own citizens from Hong Kong to Taiwan to Tibet to Uyghurs and Mongolia. So I as a Tibetan, I've been here for the last 30 years making the same protest, saying that it's free Tibet. And Dalai Lama says it's the middle way approach, by talking with Chinese people and Chinese government, that we can solve our problem. If Chinese communists can solve Tibet problem, they can solve easily problem with Hong Kong, Uyghurs, and the problem with Taiwan. So Dalai Lama's middle way approach is very, very relevant in these modern times, and I hope Chinese will understand sooner or later. A day delayed is a day bigger problem in the future. So we urge, and all over the leaders around the world support Dalai Lama because of his middle way approach for solving Tibetan problem. And with Tibet problem once solved, it's very easy to solve problem in Hong Kong, Taiwan, because it involves democracy, freedom, respect. That's good for China. It's not against China. Chinese people are not against democracy, against freedom, or against freedom of speech, against freedom of press. People all over the world appreciate, and almost 99% of the people in the world are democratic countries, from small countries to big countries, including United States. So I hope Chinese communists, you are not here against Chinese people. You are against your policy. That's brutal. And so hope Chinese communists, they will understand our aspirations of people. Of course, Chinese people inside China too, let alone Hong Kong or Taiwan or Tibet. Chinese people themselves, you have seen during Tiananmen Square massacre, they are asking for a democracy that can include, all Chinese people, not just, a communist government. It can include all the people from Hong Kong to Taiwan to Tibet. And I wish, respect the aspirations of your own people. We want to be a great citizens of democratic Tibet and democratic China and democratic Hong Kong. That's nothing against, Chinese civilization or Chinese people. So hope you will negotiate with Dalai Lama and his government sooner or later. And I wish all the best. Thank you.
And I hope we can say in unison, free Tibet,
Free Tibet,
free Hong Kong,
free Hong Kong, and free Taiwan,
free Taiwan,
and free Uyghurs,
free Uyghurs,
and free Mongolia.
free Mongolia.
Yeah, look at what Mongolia is now. Half in China, half in Russia.
In Mongolia.
So
and
that's
outer Mongolia.
something very difficult to understand too,
Yeah.
Hope nothing becomes like that,
Right. Can I say a few words in Cantonese?
Yeah.
And please don't leave. Please don't leave. 我想喺呢度咧講下今日咧點解我哋會嚟呢度示威咧？Stand with Hong Kong，你見到好似一個 Star Wars 嘅一個牌喺度。咁其實亦都你見到李世民揸住違反國際人道法 ，Vote for human rights. We will keep fighting for democracy. 之後 last breath。咁隔離有位先生亦都係 United we stand, divided we fall。即係無論我哋係和理非又好，或者係另類嘅爭取自由嘅方法都好，我哋今日咧喺中領館門口嗰度一齊咧大聲疾呼咁講，香港係需要有言論自由、有思想自由。咁同埋，Is it upside down? No。嗱，呢個就係龍獅旗，呢個係西藏嘅龍獅旗，雪山龍獅旗，呢個係西藏。喺1959年咧，尊者達賴喇嘛係離開咗，係被逼離開咗西藏，咁流亡去到依家嘅印度特蘭薩勒嘅山上邊，咁已經經過咗講緊60幾年啦，流亡咗60幾年。我希望向我哋香港人咧，唔係一個，只不過係一個暫時嘅流散族群，唔係一個流亡嘅族群。因為香港嘅一國兩制，我哋係原先係去到2047，但係喺社會事件之後，喺港版國安法之後，香港已經唔同咗。同埋你見到下邊呢條好似股票機嘅呢個 ticket symbol 咁，依家變咗有機會去做行政長官，去做真正嘅立法會議員嘅朋友，全部依家係關押咗喺香港唔同嘅羈留室，或者已經係坐緊監，係用唔同嘅形式去入佢哋罪。我哋今日咧人數咧係唔係話好多，咁但係我哋個心依家喺芝加哥，今日唔係最凍嘅一日，但係咧我哋充滿住怒火，我哋呢團嘅怒火係唔可以熄嘅，因為咧我哋唔可以咁容易去熄滅，因為我哋亦都希望香港可以有一日翻去係有自由。我哋今日咧預備咗有5張嘅牌啦，或者我哋可以攞一攞啊，或者請我哋嘅團Simon。好，今日都講一講啦。周幸彤，阿彤依家咧係支聯會嘅副主席，亦都久唔久咧就被拉入去個水飯房嗰度。咁我哋紀念住佢，紀念住阿彤。咁亦都有何俊仁啦，仁哥，仁哥亦都係曾經係支聯會嘅主席啦。咁而家亦都係坐咗我都計唔到啦，有幾多日監。咁但係佢就又係依家還押翻喺個監獄嗰度。咁又係無論支聯會好47人案或者係蘋果嘅案，我哋都紀念住阿仁哥。好啦，咁阿黎生啦，大家知道啦，黎生係多嘅1000日啦，依家喺個監嗰度。咁仲有其他嘅罪。黎生係同另一位快必啦，快必係都係超過1000日嘅啦，喺香港度。快必就係講粗口，即係其實係坐1000日監。咁黎生係我諗中共係要強烈嘅打壓，我哋紀念住黎生。我哋紀念住李卓人同埋戴耀廷教授。戴教授係和平佔中開始講香港係需要1人1票真普選。我哋亦都紀念啱啱解散咗嘅支聯會，就係由另一位仁哥李卓人去做主席嘅。咁全部都係關押咗喺監獄裏邊嗰度。咁我哋喺呢度，我哋都好掛念住佢哋。咁或者 在地嘅組織，不如請你去講唔講一兩句啦？需唔需要係或者可以？
我哋代表芝加哥支援香港，我哋係雖然我哋喺芝加哥，但係我哋依然係好記掛香港嘅人士，尤其是係不公平而被擺咗去坐監嘅朋友啦，香港嘅大家係兄弟姊妹，我哋都唔會唔記得你哋嘅。我哋雖然喺外國，但係我哋會盡我哋所能，可以做到幾多，都會支援香港，亦都係會喺呢度美國，我哋可以做到幾多嘅時候，都會盡量係希望帶到喺呢度嘅美國人認識香港嘅不公平待遇。希望好似Mother Luna King 話齋，每一個角落如果有不公平嘅時候咧，其實我哋都要支持嘅。咁因為一唔公平嘅地方一開始咧，就會蔓延去全世界㗎啦。所以我哋每個人都有義務，亦需要去互相幫助。好似我哋Tabalan嘅朋友，每次都會出嚟，因為我哋知道我哋大家都係有共同嘅目標，要 fight for freedom，stand with Hong Kong。
好，不如我哋嗌個口號好嘛？Fight for freedom.
Fight for freedom.
Stand with Hong Kong.
Stand with Hong Kong.
Fight for freedom.
Fight for freedom.
Stand with Tibet.
Stand with Tibet.
Fight for freedom.
Fight for freedom.
Stand with Taiwan.
Stand with Taiwan.
Fight for freedom.
Fight for freedom.
Stand with Hong Kong.
Stand with Hong Kong.
Fight for freedom.
Fight for freedom.
Stand with Tibet.
Stand with Tibet.
Fight for freedom.
Fight for freedom.
Stand with Taiwan.
Stand with Taiwan.
好，咁啊，或者有冇朋友想結束之前再講一講？我哋喺呢度其實一有大是大非嘅時候咧，都會喺芝加哥出現嘅。有時咧啲人數會係多啲，有時啲人數咧就冇咁多。咁今日都係叫風和日麗啦，就我唔識得計華氏嘅，我諗係幾度攝氏啦嚇，都係十分之好。見到有美國嘅國旗喺度，亦都有唔同光譜嘅朋友喺度，咁感激。咁不如我叫阿 Simon 出嚟講幾句啊，好唔好啊？即係你第一次企到咁近，即係喺呢個中領館，即係我拖你落水都唔好意思其實。
要結束嘅唔係單純係個即係對地方嘅欺壓，即係我覺得香港、台灣、西藏、新疆、蒙古，咁仲有其實我覺得中國自己本身，佢如果唔改嘅話，其實全世界最終都係受到威脅。即係要改變嗰個唔係其他地方，係中國自己本身。咁中國唔改變自己本身嘅話，咁我哋唯有就去到老遠隔個太平洋先至感覺到安全，呢個唔係道理嚟。
我好希望咧，Simon 第3屆個世界香港論壇喺呢一個會展度舉行嘅，即係如果我哋可以做到，希望將呢個 process 可以 speed up 㗎，即係唔需要做啲咁嘅，即係越洋係咪？
要隔個太平洋先至覺得安全嘅話，咁呢個世界係有啲嘢係好唔